Hey everybody, I wanted to take a minute and record a video just about different ways of getting through the exposure process, specifically Facebook Live and Zoom parties. So these are really super effective ways to move people through the exposure process, let people know a little bit more information about the products, about the business, using a third-party tool, using a different expert, and getting people the answers that they need to make the decisions that they want. So first of all, we have, Facebook Lives are great. I think for me, I think it's a great way to move people along the exposure process to then follow up with them. For me, I think doing Facebook Lives is a little bit harder to close people. It's a lot more time invested, whether you're posting throughout the week or however long your event is, and then following up with people. So for me, for a different caliber of people also. So I think a lot of people will get on a Facebook Live or will kind of engage in that group, which is great, and then you have a group to follow up with. For Zoom parties, for private Zoom parties, you kind of get a different type of person, right? You get someone that's maybe a little bit more serious about finding out more information about the products or the business. You have people that are willing to invest that time, which also means that they are more interested in the business and the products and a way bigger Class A prospect. So trying to kind of gauge that way. I think both are great. Both are just exposures, just steps in the exposure process for you to use. I'm going to basically kind of talk about Zoom private parties specifically. I think we all kind of understand how to do Facebook Live parties. Personally inviting is always best. That's how you're going to get the best response on that for a Facebook Live party. So for the Zoom parties, same thing. Now, these are really great when they're done on an individual basis or on a very small team basis. So maybe like a director team or a senior brand partner team. Keeping it really small and individualized so that people feel accountable to invite individually. I think what happens with a Facebook Live is you kind of do a mass invite and you don't specifically invite people. You just kind of hope. You kind of, take a machine gun and kind of hope that something hits instead of really pinpointing and inviting people specifically and privately and a one-on-one basis. So for your Zoom parties, for your private Zoom parties, you want to do that. You want to make sure that you're inviting people very specifically and individually. So you can be inviting people on who were samplers, who have expressed interest in the business, who are current customers, or who are Class A prospects. And you can invite individually. So it would be like, hey Tommy, I know that you've said you are, okay, and this is where it would change. I know that you are a customer and you love the products. I know that you have sampled and you like the products. I know that you're sampling right now. I know that you've expressed some type of interest in the business. I know that you are currently a customer and you use the night cream, but I wanted to make sure that you kind of knew that we had other products, find out about the products, and how you can get them for free. That's what I always say to them. So finding out about the products and making sure that you can get them for free. And people will get on that way, right? So then you send them the information for the Zoom and you invite them accordingly, individually, on an individual basis. And when this happens, it's great because now you can also create a relationship with those people, and you can have a little bit more buy-in with people that they know you one-on-one. They're getting on with whoever invited them on. You've seen them now. Maybe they've gone on some other type of exposure that you've done already. So now you're building a relationship of face-to-face. And basically it's a sit-down. Honestly, anything on a Zoom is really just a sit-down. And that's how people can make decisions. So when I invite them individually, they say they're going to get on. I will always have people kind of send a reminder out maybe an hour before. And I always record Zoom parties. I don't tell I don't necessarily tell the guests that I'm going to record it, but I always tell the brand partner so that they can use that as another individual third-party tool that's individualized to them. They can also send it to the people that weren't able to get on. And then when I'm doing this, you can kind of tailor it to whoever your audience is. So most of the time I have people invite customers, samplers, Class A prospects on the same Zoom, where I will always have them kind of tell their story, thank them for getting on, same as you would for an at-home party. And then I have them introduce me. I tell a little bit about my story. I go over the products, their uses, some other random uses. You can it's nice because you can see your audience also, where on a Facebook Live you can't, so you can't really see if people are engaged. That kind of just helps the energy wise of it, where you can see people's responses to what you're doing. I talk about the products. I talk about the business kits and the benefits of doing this as a business, doing this as a brand partner. I make sure that people understand that there are different lanes. So a lot of people who are customers will maybe just do the $500 pack. They get one of each product and then they get enrolled in that 3-year free program. People that are a little bit more serious about the business would do the $750 or the $1,000 kit so that they had samples to give out. I leave an opportunity for people to ask questions if they're interested, and if it's a larger group, I'll always kind of refer them back to the chat. If it's a smaller group, I can have them unmute themselves individually and ask, and then I answer the questions. I'll show some before and after pictures of some of the products, and I will screen share the brand partner's website so that their guests can see how and where to go to order. So it helps them that way. I usually always will offer an incentive of whoever signed up from that private Zoom party to get an eye patch or some type of product if they're interested in the business. But you want to make sure that people are engaged that way and that they're individually inviting, because that makes a huge difference. Also, I always do this with new brand partners. I always have them do at least 1 or 2 Zooms for any non-local brand partners. And that's good, especially for people that have larger networks or that have maybe moved somewhere where they haven't lived their whole lives or went to college in a different area or worked in a different area, because everybody has non-local friends then that they couldn't necessarily invite to a Real Results party. So I hope that's helpful to you. I have a little basket that I always keep on my desk with all the products in it. So I always have that available to show people. I use kind of the way, just to describe the kits, I always say there's a $750 kit, has 1 of each product for personal use, and then you get about 100 samples. There's a $1,000 kit, that's more for people that are super serious about it or are doing a spa or a salon. You get 1 of each product individually, and then you get about 300 samples. And then the $500 kit is basically a personal use pack. You get 1 of each product for yourself. And a lot of people just do that if they're customers and they want to be enrolled into the 3-year free program, where they don't necessarily need to work the business. They can just become enthusiastic referrers to their friend, like their mom, their sister, their cousin, their aunt that would order. So I hope that's helpful to you. If you have any other questions, you can definitely reach out, but everybody have a great day.